The fine rain relentlessly hammered the hood of the parked car beside the road. The smell of wet earth mingled with gasoline, a nauseating combination. Leo gripped the steering wheel, staring at the empty road ahead as lightning ripped across the distant sky. A white envelope was tossed through the open window. He caught it, feeling the damp paper between his fingers. Suddenly, Valentina appeared in the back seat, as if she had always been there. "The silent committee knows you found them. Now you must choose your side." Her voice was a sharp whisper, fading before Leo could turn. The car was empty again, except for the slip of paper detailing coordinates in the 18th. The laboratory beneath the Site de la Musique bridge was a network of tubes and flashing monitors. Leo followed the map, avoiding cameras that seemed to move on their own. In the center of the room, a glass tank held a floating figure, connected to wires that glowed in shades of blue. The woman inside had her eyes open, but did not blink. A hologram projected on the wall displayed abnormal brainwave patterns, recorded at 3 o'clock in the morning. "She's not sleeping," a metallic voice said. "She's trapped between real and implanted memories." Leo recognized the Mnemosine project code, the experimentation of artificial memories on terminal patients. Valentina reappeared, this time holding a vial of silvery liquid. "This can erase your doubts or transform them into something worse." She slipped the vial into Leo's pocket, her fingers lingering on his for a moment too long. In the hallway, an alarm blared. Doors began to close automatically, isolating sections. He raced for the exit, but found only a mirror reflecting two versions of himself, one in the Institute's lab coat, the other in torn clothes with bloodshot eyes. The vial in his pocket began to vibrate, warming the fabric. The next morning, Leo entered the Lumiere Institute as if nothing had happened. Colleagues discussed clinical trial results while machines hummed in synchronicity. The director, Dr. Crossa, called him to an urgent meeting. "You accessed restricted files yesterday," he stated flatly. "The silent committee does not tolerate curiosity." Leo denied it, but his gaze drifted to the pen on the table, the same pen as the envelope. Crossa smiled, revealing a gold tooth with a symbol similar to the vials. "Tomorrow, at 10 o'clock, we will have a new test. I hope you participate." That night, Leo opened the vial. The silvery substance evaporated into the air, leaving a metallic taste in his mouth. Flashbacks of memories that weren't his flooded his mind. A child running in a field, a woman screaming in a white room, Valentina laughing as she burned documents. He awoke on the bathroom floor, his forehead bleeding. In the mirror, he saw a spiral-shaped scar that had never been there. The radio clock read midnight. A text message blinked. "They are using the patients as anchors. You are next." The laboratory was empty when Leo returned, guided by intuition or something stronger. In the basement, he found Valentina connected to one of the tanks, her hair floating like black seaweed. "You're late," she said, her voice distorted by speakers. "The committee wants your decision now." He looked at the monitors. The patients weren't in a coma, but in a state of expanded consciousness, feeding the project's neural network. One of them was Dr. Crossa himself, his aging physical body contrasting with the youthful mind on the screen. Leo grabbed a syringe from the emergency kit. "I will not choose a side." An explosion rocked the building. Red lights flashed, and water began to leak from the ceiling. Valentina vanished, leaving only the empty vial. Leo raced for the exit, but the path was blocked by debris. In his pocket, he found a medallion with a labyrinth engraved on it, the same symbol as Crossa's tooth. The water rose to his ankles as he heard voices from a ventilation duct. He crawled through narrow tunnels until he emerged onto a side street. The rain had stopped, and the sun was rising behind the Eiffel Tower. A newspaper on the ground screamed the headline, "Fire destroys underground laboratory in central Paris." Leo touched the scar on his forehead. It tingled, as if something within him was about to awaken. On the metro, a man in a gray suit sat beside Leo, holding a folded newspaper. "You're wasting your time," he said, without looking. "They've already transferred the servers to the Louvre's basement." The man got off at the next station, leaving the newspaper. On the front page, a photo of the burning laboratory with the caption, "Isolated accident. No casualties." Leo opened the inside pages, a job advertisement for researchers in historical preservation technologies. The address was an abandoned warehouse near the river. At 11 o'clock, Leo crossed the rusty door of the warehouse. The interior was a replica of the destroyed laboratory, but with more tanks. This time, the floating bodies were of politicians, artists, and even a judge, all connected to a central core that pulsed like a mechanical heart. Valentina appeared behind him, holding a tablet with real-time graphs. Each extracted memory fuels the system, she explained. The more traumatic, the more energy it generates. She pointed to a tank where a woman relived the moment her child died. They pay millions for this. Leo recoiled, but a side door opened. Dr. Crossa entered, his frail body supported by biomechanical armor. "You ruined my favorite project," he said, his voice crackling. "But the city still needs me. Paris will burn out of control." He activated a command on the tablet. The tanks began to drain, the patients waking with muffled screams. Leo ran to shut down the machine, but Valentina held him. "That's not how you stop the committee," she whispered. "You need to enter it." An explosion shook the warehouse. Part of the ceiling collapsed, revealing the gray sky. Leo grabbed the medallion and ran, hearing Crossa laugh, even as fire spread. On the street, a black car awaited him. The driver wore a porcelain mask with the labyrinth symbol. "The committee offers a position," he said, handing over a contract. "You sign, or they erase your existence." Leo looked back. The warehouse was ablaze, but the tanks remained intact. "I need guarantees." The driver laughed. "Guarantees are for the weak." He opened a compartment in the dashboard, revealing a photo of a young Leo embracing a man he didn't recognize. "Your father knew the price of curiosity." Leo took the photo, feeling the blood drain from his face. The scar on his forehead burned, and for a moment, he saw the man in the photo dying in a white room, surrounded by lab-coated doctors. The driver slammed the door. "Decide. The next test is in 2 hours." Inside the mansion, endless corridors displayed portraits of men and women with the labyrinth symbol on their lapels. Leo was led to a room where holographic patients floated, their voices whispering secrets in dead languages. In the center, a silver-haired woman awaited him. "You are the first to reach this far without an invitation," she said, extending her hand. "I am the curator. His scar was a gift from me." She touched the mark on his forehead, and memories flooded his mind. Him, a child, prepared for something. Needles, codes, a younger Valentina crying in an operating room. "You were always part of this, Leo. We were just waiting for you to remember." The curator projected images into his mind. A laboratory years ago, lab-coated men discussing numbers, his father injecting something into a patient. He discovered how to extract memories without damaging the brain, but wanted to destroy the project when he realized what it would be used for. The image changed, a white room, gunshots, blood on the floor. "You were 7 when they took you. We adjusted your memories." The medallion in his hand grew warm, burning his palm. Leo began to see flashes of his childhood, a different woman from the mother he knew, a dog that never existed, a tall man with scars on his neck, his real father. "Why tell me this now?" "Because you are the key." Your mind was prepared to be the next core of the system, not just a collector. Valentina entered, holding a syringe with black liquid. "He needs to decide before dawn." The curator nodded. "The serum will reveal your true memory, but if you resist, well, your father resisted." She pointed to a screen where Crossa's unrecognizable body fed the central core. Leo looked at the contract. The signatory agrees to share all past and future memories with the committee. "What if I refuse?" Valentina stared at him, her eyes red. "They kill you and use your child in the project. It's been this way for generations." At 2 o'clock in the morning, Leo walked to the core. The holograms whispered warnings in languages he now understood. "Don't let them use us. Kill us or free us." The curator watched him from afar, while Valentina prepared a brain dialysis machine. "It's simple," the curator said. "Sign and live like a god." refuse and become one of us. She pointed to the tanks, where a familiar figure floated, a child. Leo plunged the needle into his neck. The black liquid burned through his veins, revealing real memories. Him, a child, being taken to the institute. Valentina crying as they implanted something in his neck. His father alive, screaming for him to run. And the committee, not a group of people, but an ancient intelligence, fueled by fear and memories. The floor trembled. The tanks began to explode, releasing bodies and smoke. Valentina rushed to him, but the curator held her. He's stronger than we thought. Leo felt the medallion melt, merging with his skin. The labyrinth symbol glowed on his neck, and he knew what to do. He ran to the core, connecting to the cables. Thousands of memories flooded him, and he saw the true plan, not to control Paris, but to rebuild it from collective trauma. At 3 o'clock, the system collapsed. The institute, the warehouse, the mansion, everything crumbled like a house of cards. Leo awoke on the street, a new scar on his neck. A newspaper announced a city-wide blackout. No sign of the committee or Valentina. He touched the medallion, now part of his skin. In his mind, the whispers continued, but now he understood them. They were asking for help.